Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. Today, Saturday, March 29th, I attended the Northeast Card Expo in Quincy, Mass. This is a twice a year show that they do in Quincy, and it's a really great show, and it was a great show today. It was great to see a lot of my favorite dealers and some newer ones as well, and a lot of great cross section of cards, a lot of vintage, a lot of tables had a mix of vintage and newer stuff, and it was packed. I got there right when the sort of regular doors opened at 9:30, and there was a line to get in, and it was crazy the whole time I was there. This is the show where I always say like the hobby is strong because it's just nonstop wall to wall people. So what I'm going to do with the show footage is a little bit different, and I haven't really done this before, but I'm going to show you guys the footage, cut the sound on the footage, and do like a voiceover. And this is inspired by Greg Midlife Cards and Mike Junkwax Hero, who both do it like this. And I figured I would try it out. I'm just going to talk over the footage, and then when we come back, I'll show you guys the pickups from today. All right, so again, absolutely crowded show. You see some of the hallways here. I think this first stuff is from Bobby, my friend Bobby, who sets up at most of these shows. He's the guy that has stuff for me. I got to talk to him for a little bit. He pretty much just had modern stuff today. He had a ton of Drake May. I think Drake May stuff is really popular in the Boston area, not surprisingly. He's going to have a big weapon to throw to in Stephon Diggs now. And then he had a bunch of WNBA cards. You can see there some Caitlin Clark stuff, some of the other big current WNBA stars and college stars of today. So good stuff from Bobby there. So here's Greg. So Greg sets up at the show a lot. I've bought from him previously, and he this is just sort of his like 50s and 60s vintage table. He had a whole pre-war section that I didn't end up getting anything of because somebody was kind of standing in front of it. But you can see good Ted Williams stuff, really good, a lot of good 56s there. Aparicio rookie, good early. There's a Kareem rookie right there. Some Leaf stuff. And then he showed me this that he had just picked up, which was this really gorgeous Jordan rookie raw, plus the sticker. So then let's talk a little bit about Paul. This is a guy who is in the Manchester, New Hampshire area. And I bought a card from him. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. But he used to have a shop many years ago that closed around the year 2000. But he has a lot of great vintage, like old stuff going way back, as you can see there. Goudey cards, nice Carew rookie there. Some other really good stuff. It was a nice Aparicio there, I said. And then he's got more modern. He's got some Jordans, some early Jordans. And there's a nice 57 Ted. A few others there. Yeah, good stuff from Paul. He's a really good dealer. And then, check out his card and give him a ring if you want any of his stuff. Speaking of a guy's named Paul, there's PB Collectibles, Paul, and there you see him really quickly there. You don't get to see, I feel like I don't see Paul enough at shows. He said his shop is really busy. He was at Philly show, I know, but there's his basketball selection. He's got some good 86 Fleers there as well. And some other really good stuff. More good basketball. Let me kind of transition over to the baseball, some of the newer baseball that he has. Some 70s into the 60s, some 68s, bunch of bench rookies, some nice 69s there. You see a Reggie rookie. And then we go over to some of the older stuff that he has. Yaz, some 64s, some 63s, nice 63 Yaz there. Some older stuff. He's got like some of the Mecca double folders there. 63s and 64s, and this was his next showcase with a bunch of 50s stuff. See a nice Warren Spahn Leaf poking out of there. Some good Prewar. Some 41 play balls. I bought a 41 play ball Jimmy Fox from Paul at the last show of these last year. And then some vintage football. And then you kind of see on the right there, Matt from Providence did have a table set up. And yeah, what a crazy busy show. All right, so hope you guys liked that. just a great show, and there's so much cool stuff at it, and I'm so thankful in Boston, in the Boston area, that we always have big shows like this, like that happen seemingly every weekend, and every show is packed to the gills. It doesn't, unless it's like there's bad weather or like it's a holiday or something, like it's always going to be busy. So there were a few cards I could have bought today that I kind of passed on. I mentioned Matt had a card I was interested in, but decided maybe we'd revisit it some other time. And the guy Greg I showed you at the top had a really interesting Turkey Red card that I'd like to get. I just want to get a T3 Turkey Red, the big cabinet cards, for my PC. But he had a Tinker that had a bunch of paper loss on the front, and I kind of just decided to pass on it. The price we talked about was a good price, but I just decided it wasn't the right time for me to kind of go for that. So I just have two pickups, two groups of cards. One was from a gentleman, Mike, who I buy Modern Red Sox cards from him basically every show now. So I bought a stack of Modern Red Sox stuff from him. And then from the gentleman, Paul, from New Hampshire, I bought a card that's been on my list for a while, and I was really thrilled to get it. So I'll start with the stack of Red Sox cards from Mike. One of them is actually not a Red Sox card, but it's a guy who's on the Red Sox now. So I got a nice Garrett Crochet First Bowman paper. It's a good one. The prices I paid on this were not actually what I paid. Usually he does like half off. This is a Bowman Chrome Virtuosic Vibrations 2022 of Marcelo Meyer. It's a good one. Here's a Topps Heritage New Age Performers Tristan Casas rookie to add to I have a bunch of his rookies now, so that's a cool one. Couple Rafi Devers cards. Here's the one that I never had before. A rookie card that is also a rookie cup. And this is from 2018 Topps Series 1. So I love that one. That's a great one. The rare rookie card and rookie cup. Here's another Rafi Devers Topps Home Run Challenge from 2021. It's a good one. Here's a Brian Bayo rookie paper. Couple Cedon Rafaela cards. Here's a Panini Prism from 2023. And then here's his base Series 1 rookie from last year. And then, weirdly enough, I don't have a lot of Dustin Pedroia cards, and Mike had this Gypsy Queen short print from 2012. Dustin Pedroia is like in my top 5 all-time favorite Red Sox, and weirdly, I just don't have very many of his cards. So I saw this, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll pick that up. So this whole stack of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, all this was $15. So shout out to Mike. He's a great guy, and I love buying from him at shows. So I mentioned Paul, the guy, the New Hampshire, he lives in the Manchester area. He used to own a card shop, and he sets up at this show a lot. He sets up at a few other shows locally. He sets up at Shriners usually. He had a card that I was really interested in, and I had kind of remembered that he had it at his table before, but the timing wasn't right to buy it. And this time, the timing was right to buy it. So this card kind of kills two birds with one stone for me, knocks two things off my list that I really wanted. And here's the card. 1933 Goudey Sport Kings gum of Bruins legend and Hall of Famer Eddie Shore in an SGC2. I love the color on this. It's got some corner wear, but like a really pretty card. And I had never owned a card from this set before. This is a legendary set that includes a very famous Babe Ruth card, Ty Cobb card, Carl Hubble. Those are most of the baseball guys. I think probably the most famous card in the whole set is Jim Thorpe, and that tends to be the most valuable one. I think that and Ruth, probably the two most valuable. And then there are guys from a ton of other sports. There are tennis players and cyclists, and there's basketball players. Some of the earliest basketball cards are in that set. The Nat Holman from the old Celtics. He's got it's not the Boston Celtics, but he's got like a Celtics jersey on. That's a card I'd love to have too. But there are a few hockey players in this, and there's one Bruin, and that is, of course, Eddie Shore. So I'm going to read some of the stuff on the back. He's born in Saskatchewan, where there's plenty of ice in the winter. Naturally took to the game of hockey. Eddie's great ability for fast breaking, checking, and rushing earned him chances to travel with bigger teams until he landed with the Bruins in 1926. He's been selected as the game's greatest defensive star on all hockey teams many times. One of the highest scoring defensive players in the game, and always gives a thrill when he starts one of his famous rushes down the ice. He's one of the highest priced stars in hockey, but is very modest and quiet. Keeps in perfect training all the time, and during the offseason works his huge wheat ranch in Edmonton. So there you go. Bruins Hall of Famer, Stanley Cup champion in 1929 and 1931. His number 2 is one of the retired numbers. If you go in the TD Garden, you'll see his number up there. He was retired in 1947. He was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame. He is mentioned in the movie Slapshot as being sort of one of the epitome of old-time hockey. His nickname, I feel like I'm bearing the lead here, that his nickname was Old Blood and Guts. What a great name. What a great nickname. So, again, I guess I haven't really shown the back. So there's the back. The back is nice. I'm just thrilled to add this to my PC. It's just like, I'm not a big Bruins collector. I'm not even really the biggest Bruins fan. I was at different times in my life. Hockey was probably my second favorite sport at one point, behind baseball. But I got that really nice 1969 Orr card, and I have a slabbed Ray Bourque card. I sent a Bergeron rookie, the one that I had in my most recent SGC order. I'll talk about that in a minute. But so this is a really cool one to add, is this pre-war Bruins card, which I have to imagine there aren't too many of them. And to get a card from the Sport King set is really exciting. And I was really happy with the price I paid on it. He was asking $300. I offered $250, and we agreed at $260. So, I believe the pop on this card is about 480. So there's only about 480 graded copies of this card. So I'm thrilled to have it. I'm thrilled to add a really cool pre-war Bruins card to my PC. So that was my big pickup from the day today. Mention a few other things before I go. Shout out to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. He sent me a pack of 83 tops that we're going to open on this channel when we can. We haven't talked about scheduling it, but as you know, you might remember that I opened a pack of 79 O-Pee-Chee on Dan's channel, and he got like a deal on like 5 of these at the White Plains show last weekend, which I missed him because I went on Friday and he went the other days. But Dan and I will do kind of a pack rip. He's going to open one and I'm going to open one, and we'll do it on this channel this time. So thank you, Dan, for sending this. Really appreciate it. Check out, by the way, mentioning this Friday, I just heard from Dan that he has a really great guest on his channel like this weekend. I think he's going to post it today. Really cool. If you're not subscribed to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC, you make sure you are, and check out the interview that he did today with a really cool person in the hobby. So check that out. I mentioned that I sent in an SGC order, so I don't know when I'm going to get that back. It had 12 cards in it, one reholder, one crossover. I'm going to try to reholder the Grover Cleveland Alexander card I bought, and crossover the Dizzy Dean 33 Goudey that I bought from Matt. And then the rest of it is all raw. Some of it is stuff that had been in my vintage binder for a while that I thinned that out pretty significantly recently to buy stuff. And some stuff that kind of didn't fit in binder pages that were kind of bigger names and nicer players, mostly from the 60s, at least 1 or 2 from the 50s. I decided to send that in. And then there are a couple of older cards in that too. So there's like a 33 Goudey Wayner that I sent. So stuff that I had sitting around for a while. I decided to send it in. SGC, basically the day that I sent that in was the day that SGC announced that their turnaround times are going to be slower, that they had to go from 5 to 10 days to 15 to 20 day turnaround, because they've had a huge influx from some of their specials, which I believe those specials are going to end next week. So hopefully they'll get caught up, and hopefully it's not going to take quite as long to get those cards back. But again, I appreciate the transparency from SGC on that. So that's pretty much it for today. So I'm really happy, really thrilled with this pickup. I'll show it one more time. This 33 Goudey Sport Kings Eddie Shore, this was on my list. This was on my big list of cards I wanted. So I was really happy, and I felt like I got a really good price on it. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not previously. We're getting pretty close to 1,000 subscribers, and then we're going to do a cool giveaway when we hit that. Let me know what you think of those pickups. Let me know if you picked up anything this weekend at a card show or anything came in the mail. Let me know. We'd love to hear about it. Please like this video as well. We appreciate that. Check out our ComC store. We've got some cool stuff for sale there. check out where to follow us on all social media channels. And then also please check out our list of favorite nonprofits and charities. It would mean a lot to us if you could support one of them today or whenever you're able to. So thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.